This is called happiness. No, no, no. I feel like y'all set me up. Hey, my name's Megan. I'm a professional writer and writing coach. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. It's so good to see you again. I am so excited to react to yet another song that y'all have requested. It's from her Evermore album, and I've never heard this song before, so you're getting my blind reaction. Tell me what you think. Down below, we can start a conversation about it. All right.
Honey, when I'm above the trees, I see this for what it is. But now I'm right down in it. All the years I've given are just things we're dividing up. Showed you all of my hiding spots. I was dancing when the music stopped. And in the disbelief, I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet.
This is called happiness. No, no, no. I feel like y'all set me up. No! Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Okay, all right, let's talk about it. What's she saying? When I'm above the trees, I see this for what it is, but now I'm right down in it. So she sees the forest for the trees. Is that what she's saying? All right. Now I'm right down in it. All the years I've given are just things we're dividing up. Oh, no. Oh, no. So she's saying when she's above the trees. So that gives us a really kind of a magical, fantastical, at least, well, maybe it just gives me that thought. When I'm picturing it in my head, I picture her floating above the trees like she's, and the way it sounds too helps with this, like she's floating in the clouds and she sees it for what it is. So I don't really know exactly what that's referring to. I'm guessing she means she sees the truth of it, like I see this for what it is. I know it's not good anymore. I know this is ending, but right now I'm in it. So she's down in the woods, she's in the trees, she can't see the big picture. All the years I've given, so she's invested in this, are just things we're dividing up. So all the years I've given has so much weight to it. I've given so many years, and then to call it things, to reduce that to just things they're dividing up, like any kind of possession you could just toss out if you wanted, is so heartbreaking. And things we're dividing up, you only divide up your things when you're separating from someone. So that's great. This is called happiness. I feel betrayed, but I also love that it's not what you expect. Oh, yeah. Okay, this part gets me. Showed you all of my hiding spots. Oh. I was dancing when the music stopped. Oh my God. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad because it's so good. It's the realization that it's ending. And she says, I showed you all of my hiding spots. So you don't show anyone your hiding spots because that's where they can find you when you're hiding. So to really let someone in close enough to show them where you hide and everything that you're hiding. Oh. I was dancing when the music stopped. So it seems like she didn't see this coming. She was in it. She was dancing, immersed in that. And then the music stopped. Kind of like, you know, she was in the trees. She wasn't lifted out. It kind of reminds me of that. I was dancing when the music stopped. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, guys, this is so sad. Okay. It's just a song. All right. And in the disbelief, I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet. Oh, yeah, so the disbelief. So there she is telling us a little bit more specifically what's going on. Phrases like I was dancing when the music stopped are so showy and so not telly. If you're a writer, you know that one of the biggest mantras in writing is show, don't tell. And everyone's always like, the heck does that mean? This is what it means. When she says, all the years I've given are just things we're dividing up, showed you all of my hiding spots, I was dancing when the music stopped. She's not telling us anything about what she's feeling. She's showing us what it's like. She's giving us almost a mini scene where we can put ourselves into it and say, okay, how would we feel if we were dancing when the music stopped? How would we feel if we showed somebody all of our hiding spots? Like, what does that mean? And from there, we understand what she's talking about. Instead of saying, I was really vulnerable with you. I let you know all of my secrets. I was completely immersed in this relationship and then you pulled the rug out from under me. I feel betrayed. She's not saying any of that. She's showing us how she's felt through these little snippets. She's the queen of snippets. The queen of snippets. Love it. In the disbelief. So there she's getting a bit more telly. She's telling us now, I feel disbelief. I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet. So I love that line because, well, it's interesting too that she says, I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet. And it's almost like the new me would have a new face. So I can't face a new me yet. I haven't met them. Because when you break up with someone that you've invested years in, it is kind of like you have to reinvent yourself because they're not part of your life anymore. So a big part of your life changes. Y'all, thank you for suggesting this. This is awesome. All right. I was dancing when the music stopped. I can't get over that line. Oh, okay. Okay.
In the disbelief, I can't face reinvention. I haven't met the new me yet.
Oh no. Oh, this doesn't look good.
There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you.
Oh.
Both of these things can be true.
Y'all gonna get me crying in this video?
Past the blood and bruise, past the curses and cries.
I love this.
Beyond the terror in the nightfall, haunted by the look in my eyes that would have loved you for a lifetime. Oh my gosh. And there is happiness.
I'm unwell. Oh, okay. I can stop there and just take a breath. You know, I love this. There's so much maturity in this. You can just see how much she's grown as a person and a songwriter. Man, that's freaking awesome. That's the one really cool thing about somebody who's been writing for so long, especially someone who started so young. You can see the changes in them. You can see that in writers too who write books that are somewhat semi-autobiographical throughout their career and write novels that have hints of their life in it. You can see them growing in it too. And I just think it's one of the best things about writing. A little bit of the author is always in there, you know? And so their work grows with them. I just think that's awesome. So there will be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true. That dichotomy is like piercingly true and awful and beautiful all at the same time. I think you're really starting to grow up when you're able to hold two such conflicting feelings and things together at the same time. It's really hard. It's a really hard place to sit in. But she's sitting in this right now, and kudos to her for having this perspective, but also, painful. So there'll be happiness after you. There will be happiness. We've got tense shifts here. Tenses, verb tense shifts. There will be happiness after you, which means future tense. It hasn't happened yet, but there was happiness because of you. Past tense. So we're looking back. So future and past, both of these things can be true. We're looking at both of them right now. There is happiness past the blood and bruise, past the curses and cries. Get that repetition again. Beyond the terror in the nightfall. So we have past and we have beyond, which I think is interesting. That's another past versus future kind of motif there. Haunted by the look in my eyes that would have loved you for a lifetime. Leave it all behind. Oh. The full sentence starts with there is happiness. So there is happiness past all of these things. And there's no commas in this, so I really don't know how to connect which part to which. Commas are really great tools for understanding what part of the sentence is connected to what part. Which part of the sentence is modifying happiness or modifying whatever the subject is. So there is happiness, comma, past the blood and bruise, past the curses and cries, beyond the terror and the nightfall. So I feel like she's saying, despite all the blood and the bruises and the curses and the cries, the terror in the nightfall, which reminds me of her pacing like a ghost from The Archer. Pacing like a ghost, not being able to sleep. The fear of not knowing whether he's going to hurt her. So beyond all of that, there's happiness. But it's now haunted by the look in her eyes that would have loved him for a lifetime. Can we get that she's in the middle of this? It's almost like it just happened. The news just broke to her. She was dancing when the music stopped. Can we just put that line up on the wall? Wow, I dig it. All right, but not because of her pain though. Leave it all behind. Enough said about that. Oh my gosh, we're only 1 minute and 32 seconds in.
Tell me, when did your winning smile begin to look like a smirk? When did all our lessons start to look like weapons pointed at my deepest hurt?
What is
I
this?
hope she'll be a beautiful fool who takes my spot next to you. No one.
Oh my gosh. And then she says, no, I didn't mean that. Oh man. Oh, I can't. This actually makes me think she might be part of the reason why they're breaking up. And it kind of connects to the Archer again because she was afraid of sabotaging this, and I feel like this is evidence of the sabotage. When did your winning smile begin to look like a smirk? So that's all her perception. She's not saying, when did you start smirking at me? Which, I mean, that would still kind of be her perception of it, but it's almost like, when did your winning smile begin to look like a smirk? Because she says look like a smirk, it's not necessarily a smirk, but she thinks it is. So is she sabotaging there? When did all our lessons start to look like weapons? And that's a great approximate rhyme, by the way. Lessons and weapons. It's not a direct rhyme. They don't actually rhyme, but they sound similar and they have a similar rhythm so that when you sing them together, it still kind of sounds like you're rhyming. When did all our lessons start to look like weapons pointed at my deepest hurt? So instead of looking at the things she's learning in this relationship as beneficial, it started looking like things that were intentionally trying to hurt her. And then she gets a little bit vindictive. And she says, I hope she'll be your beautiful fool who takes my spot next to you. And then she says, no, I didn't mean that. Like, she loves this guy, but she's hurt. So when you're hurt, you're more likely to hurt somebody that you love. Take it out on them because you kind of want them to hurt the way they've hurt you. So I hope she'll be your beautiful fool. That also makes me think, does he already have somebody new? Didn't she just get this news? And I don't know. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. And she's just thinking about whoever he'll be with in the future. Because that's always what stinks too. When you lose somebody that you love, it's like, you know they'll be with someone else one day who takes my spot next to you. Oh, Tay-Tay. That's so sad. I hope she'll be your beautiful fool because she feels like a fool. She feels like a fool for trusting him. Who takes my spot. It's my spot and it's ruined now. Someone else is gonna get it. But she says, no, I didn't mean that. It's so honest and realistic, I feel like. When you're hurting, you're like, you might say these mean things, but you don't really mean it. And you're like, no, I don't, this is not what I want to say. Anyway, all right.
Who takes my spot next to you? No, I didn't mean that. Sorry, I can't see facts through all of my fury. You haven't met the new me yet.
Oh. So there it's like, I can't see facts through all of my fury. So that's telling. That's not showing us. That's telling us directly, just to give you a sense of what the difference is. When she says, I'm gonna harp on this line all day long, I was still dancing when the music stopped, right? That's showing. We get an impression on what the feeling is. Here she says, I can't see facts through all of my fury. So she's telling us, I can't see straight. I can't see what's real because I'm so mad at you. And then she says, you haven't met the new me yet. So she knows she's going to grow through this and be better because of it, but she ain't there yet. Y'all, this is, man, we are still have a minute left.
There'll be happiness after me.
Oh no.
There was happiness because of me. Both of these things I believe there is happiness.
So now she repeats the chorus, but it's shifted a little bit, right? It was, there will be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. And now it's, there'll be happiness after me, but there was happiness because of me. Both of these things I believe. And I feel like when you're in this moment in a relationship, you have to kind of tell yourself things like that. Man, y'all. All right, let's keep going.
History across a great divide. There is a glorious sunrise, dappled with the flickers of light from the dress I wore at midnight. Leave it all behind, and there is happiness.
All right, we gotta stop because it's getting There's a lot of meat here. In our history, across our great divide, there's a glorious sunrise dappled with the flickers of light. So I have two things in mind as I look at that. She could be saying she says in our history. So I suppose she's talking about her history with this guy. Across our great divide. Wasn't this a long distance thing, or wasn't he from another country? Is that what she's referring to there? Across our great divide? I don't know. Anyway. That could be too literal. But across our great divide, so there's this sense that they've really traversed something together. There has been this great divide that has been crossed in their history. And maybe also the sense of like a gaping hole and now space between them. I mean, there's a lot of meaning you could get from that phrase. There's a glorious sunrise dappled with flickers of light. I almost picture it like she's at one end of the Grand Canyon and he's like at the other end, and they can still see each other, but there's this great divide between them now. But there's this beautiful sunrise, and as they're thinking back, or as she's thinking back on their relationship, there's this huge, beautiful sunrise feeling to it. And then there's also moments where the light is more dappled. So there have been moments of light trickling in, and now that she steps back again and she's looking across the divide, kind of like at the beginning of the song where she was above the trees and she could see it for what it really is, she's able to see the sunrise that is so glorious, which is how she's, I think, able to have this perspective. I think it's funny, the line, "From the dress I wore at midnight," that's specific. Once she starts getting into those specific memories, she says, leave it all behind. So that's so hard not to think about your memories with someone when you're parting ways.
I can't make it go away by making you a villain. I guess it's the price I paid for 7 years in heaven.
I can't make it go away by making you a villain. Again, there's a lot of maturity in that statement. It kind of reminds me of the line, "When did your winning smile begin to look like a smirk? When did all our lessons start to look like weapons?" Like seems like she's kind of fighting the urge to make him into the villain. But she knows that that's not going to make it go away. That's not going to make me feel better. When you realize that, you've grown. That's all I'm going to say. I guess it's the price I pay. So what's it's? When you're writing, you always want to make sure that your pronouns are clearly linked to what they're referring to. Whether it's, that's, he, she, they, whatever it is. So I can't make it go away by making you a villain. I guess it's the price I pay. So what is it's the price? I mean, I'm assuming it's the pain she's feeling, because she talks about, I can't make it go away. And the only thing I could imagine she wants to go away right now is the pain. So I guess it's the price, pain's the price I paid for 7 years in heaven. And 7 is such a heavenly number. If you know, you know. So that's kind of a little bit of a rough statement. Did you not deserve that 7 years in heaven? Like, you deserve pain now because you got to have that experience? I don't know if I'm on board with that thinking, but...
And I put your body into mine every long cold night. Now I get fake niceties. No one teaches you what to do. But a good man hurts you, and you know you hurt him too.
I kind of thought that they wrote songs together on this album, so y'all just tell me what's up with that. But okay. I pulled your body into mine every long cold night. Such a very intimate feel every long cold night. So she's getting warmth from him, and now she gets fake niceties. Ugh, gross. So they were close. She pulled him in every night, and there's an intimacy there that is now no longer there. She gets the fake nice version of him, and that is just... Because when you're close to someone, you don't have to be fake. It's the realest you'll ever be. So yeah, that definitely stings. No one teaches you what to do when a good man hurts you. Because again, she wants to be able to make him a villain, but she can't, because he's a good guy. And you know you hurt him too. So she's like, I can't make him the villain because I know that I hurt him just as much, and he's a good man after all. So the maturity that shines through here is really standing out, and I think that's great character development, and she should be proud of herself.
Honey, when I'm above the trees, I see it for what it is. But now my eyes leak acid rain on the pillow where you used to lay your head.
She goes back to that first opening image of honey, when I'm above the trees, I see it for what it is. But And before it was but when I'm right down in it, and now it's but now my eyes leak acid rain on the pillow. Those tears hurt. You know, if her tears are like acid rain and it's just leaking out of her, it's like uncontrollable and painful, and that hurts. And it's probably burning through the pillow that he laid his head on. So there's a lot going on there. But there's again that push and pull between having perspective on it. When I'm above the trees, I see it for what it is. And then also the pull of, but right now I'm sobbing on my pillow. Like I can't have perspective right now because I'm so sad. And I'm so hurt, and even these tears hurt me. They're burning my face. So I feel like it's just a very crisp and smart way of describing exactly what this kind of experience feels like.
After giving you the best I had, tell me what to give after that. All you want from me now is the green light of forgiveness.
Okay, so that's telling me that he broke up with her, and that's another reason why she might want to make him a villain. After giving you the best I had, she's basically saying, I gave you the best I had. Tell me what to give after that. It was my best. All you want from me now is the green light of forgiveness. And green light of forgiveness is a great phrase, because a green light means, okay, you can go now. If I forgive you, I'm really letting you go. I'm really giving you that green light. Like, go ahead, go ahead. Ugh, this is awful. I love it though.
You haven't met the new me yet.
You haven't met the new me yet. So again, we had that line up earlier where she says, sorry, I can't see facts through all of my fury. You haven't met the new me yet. Like, I'm still in this. I'm still hurting. I'm leaking acid rain onto the pillow. And then she says, all you want is forgiveness. You haven't met the new me yet. Like, I'm not there yet, dude.
And I think she'll give you that.
Man, to be able to be in this kind of place relationally, but also have the perspective of like, one day I will be able to forgive you. Today is not the day. And to be able to express that to the person who's hurt you, that is not easy.
There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of
Man, doesn't that just break your heart?
these things can be true. There is happiness in our history.
So again, there'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can be true. And it's just the tension of living with both of those things is very difficult. It's a great divide.
The dress I wore at midnight, leave it all behind.
And then what does she repeat at the end?
Leave it all behind, and there is happiness.
So that last bit makes me think she knows that she has to leave it all behind in order to have happiness again. Or she has to leave it all behind, but there's also happiness from this relationship. And it's just that push and pull again of the two things being true. This sucks, but it was also good. There was goodness in this, and now there's pain. And that's just nothing I can do about that. But leave it all behind, leave it all behind, leave it all behind makes me think she's trying to move on. And oh, man. Y'all, that was a good song. I loved that. I'm so excited to listen to more songs from that album and from Folklore, which I tell you right now, I'm promising you, songs from Folklore are coming. I'm so excited. But we got to talk about some really cool things in that. The maturity and the character growth and development we're seeing in her writing is fantastic, and we can definitely glean a lot from that as we're creating characters. And the one other thing I would say about that is really deep, beautiful characters are able to sit in these tensions, and good stories aren't all buttoned up and put in a box and everything's pretty. Like they get into these gritty moments where there's a lot of conflict and conflicting feelings, and that is real life. So when you're writing stories, try to think about how you can add those colors into situations with characters. If there's conflict, don't just make your characters respond in one way and that's it. Like maybe they're just mad. Like no, give them depth, give them multiple feelings about everything that happens to them, and you'll really provide your stories with a lot of richness. That's my tip for you guys today. This was really fun. If you liked this video, it really helps my channel if you can hit the like button or subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if there are other songs I should react to. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.
There'll be happiness after you, but there was happiness because of you. Both of these things can